Okay, Hari Om. We will start. Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Janmadhyasya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratashcha artheshvabhignaswarat tene brahmahridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये. Hari Om. So last week we were looking at how Bhagavan Krishna, he was born, he reveals himself in his true form to both Vasudeva and Devaki, and then comes back to his baby form also, because he wants them. He was born, they were Prishni and something in the last few, somebody in the last few janmas, and this was their last janma, so they should remember that who he is, and hence he reveals his true form and then comes back to his baby form, and then asks Vasudeva to take him to Nanda Gokula, and the doors open, everybody goes to sleep. He walks out, crosses the river, Adisesha, who is it that comes and Adisesha, right? Comes and protects, forms an umbrella to Bhagwan as a service to not let him get wet by the rain. The water rises to touch Bhagwan's feet, just to touch his feet. Yamuna rises, and he is taken and kept near Yashoda, And there is a girl baby there who is brought back to the prison again. The girl baby is brought back. And she, being Yogamaya, gives out a big cry. I read some interesting aspect of this, how in Ramavatara, Rama is born on the 9th day. He's Navami. And this is Tejomaya Nandaji has given this kind of a thought that Rama was born on Navami and Krishna now chooses to be born on Ashtami. Navami, if you see, it represents wholeness, completeness, because 9 is, if you multiply 9 into 1, 9, 9 into 2, 18, 18, you add 8 plus 1, it will come to 9. 9 3s are 27, 7 plus 2, 9. Everything, when you multiply, it all comes back to that one number, 9 alone. It is like in everything, like that 9 is there, like that. Who is that? That is Brahman. Yeah. In everything, there is Brahman. Like that, in every number, there is that 9. So that 9 is a very auspicious number. In that way, and it represents Brahman. We also celebrate Navaratri. In that 9 is that wholeness, and in that Devi is being worshipped. Like that, the 8 represents, if you see even Bhagavad Gita, that shloka which says the Prakriti is made of 8 elements. 8 elements, which is Buddhi, the Panchabhuta, the Buddhi, Manas,
Ahankara.
And Ahankara. Okay. So this is how, this is Prakriti. So in a way, he is here to lord over this Maya.
And to show that he is the Lord of Maya, always.
He is the Lord of Maya. Okay, so that is why along with him there is when Yogamaya also born on the other side. Yeah. And that gets reversed. He goes there, she comes here. So he is like that Mayapati, the Lord of Maya. He can do anything. Mm-hmm. He is the master. Mm. Hmm. He is the master of all the intellects, is how Tejamanandaji says. Hmm. He is the master of all the witnesses. Hmm. So all the individual witnesses, he is the Maya, he is the master of every thing. Hmm. And Rama walks like that, like Brahman. He's always in the supreme and he's walking like that. Here, he is playing with Maya every moment. Krishna. Mm-hmm. He is in it, he is out of it, he is ever happier, but never caught in it. Never caught in it. That is what he says, right? When Abhimanyu is born, he is still born. He carries him and he says, if I have ever swayed from Brahmacharya, if I have never swayed from Brahmacharya, may this child be come alive. And it comes alive. How can he, who has so many wives, Rukmani, how can he Brahmacharya is the control of the senses. Not being touched by anything. But totally being in the play of Maya also. He's playing. That is why it's called Leela.
They say, no, Rama was Maryadha Purushottam. Krishna Avatara is Leela Purushottam.
Leela Purushottam.
So, and about this 8 in Bhagavad Gita, I think, chapter, I don't remember, Vyasaushadam commentary Swami has also given. 2 whole numbers are 0 and 8.
That is also there.
Yeah, 0 is very simple. It's just a circle. Purna. And that's why we call Pujyam also. 8 is, again, there are no open ends. That is whole. But it is complex. So Maya is complex. Always Swami takes the example of gasket. So gasket, cooker gasket, if you see, when it is just round, there is no stress. It is so simple. It is just there, right? But you make it into, twist it, it becomes 8. The same thing only, actually, it is not different. Twist it, there is so much of tension there. So Maya is full of, when we are caught in Maya, there is so much tension, but just let it go. Just let it go. It will come back to Pujya.
But that Maya is also the potency of the divine.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
It is the same. If you look at a circle, a Pujyam, you start from a place, you keep going round and round and round and round. It is never ending. This Maya is also, you trace the 8, it is never ending. It is like 2 sides of the same coin, like potential energy and kinetic energy, like Devi and like the Purusha and the Prakriti. Both are 2 sides of the same coin. In the sense that, now if Lord Vishnu is the Lord, then his potency is Lakshmi. Lord Shiva is the Purusha, his potency, his Shakti is Parvati, Mata. Like if a seed for creation or any movement in the world, in the universe, any creation or any manifestation to happen, the masculine and the feminine energy have to come together. The potential energy and the kinetic energy have to come together. Like that bow is very taut, full of potential energy, but when it is released, dynamic energy pushes forward the arrow. So both these are 2 sides of the same coin. There is no Prakriti without Purusha, and there is no movement without Prakriti. Even though in Purusha is there, there is no movement without the Prakriti. So both are like 2 sides of the same coin. So that is why so much of this Saundarya Lahari and Lalita Sahasranama, the Devi aspect is also worshipped. Because it is the potency of the divine. So when we start that, Bala also keeps saying that that Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samstita. The delusion is nothing but his potency only, his Maya only. As Prakriti, as Devi, as Shakti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita. Trishna Rupena Samstita, Kshanti Rupena Samstita. Everything that is there, good or what we consider as good or bad, is all his potency only at the end of the day. So if I can see everything that is happening, even in the world of Maya, as his potency, then where is the I? Even if it is a Bhranti, even if we are acting out of Bhranti, that is delusion. Then everything is his potency. There is no I. You are just with him. This is all your Leela, Bhagwan. Then there is no accumulation of punya or papa or karma or anything, because you are correctly established to see everything as his potency only, and there is no I, me, mine.
That's why they say, no, Ramana Bhagavan always used to say, all are self only. You are only pretending. So it is a pretension. In pretension, there is so much tension. We take this to be set. Even here it comes, right? In Bhagavad Gita also there are many shlokas which keep saying Mama Maya Duratyaya. So to know that this Maya, whatever we call as this, it is not separate from the Lord. That is an upasana by itself. It's a very powerful upasana. You know, anything that comes, oh, it is Bhagavan in that form. It is Bhagavan in that form. You know, we don't have to go to the realization also. A practice. That practice itself gives so much release and peace, and slowly the grip of that otherness. You know, the main thing is because we think there is something apart from the Lord. How can there be anything apart from Him? You know, we just have to question again and again. Yeah. And moment by moment, whenever, if we feel the grip of this mind at the individual level, Maya, mind and all is the same. So when we feel the grip of this mind, the thoughts and all that, you see, this is also you. Can the truth not be here now? Then that is not truth, right? These are very powerful questions that we can constantly question and bring ourselves back to the truth. 3 mantras, you know, one saint, he gave it, is so powerful. He said, continuously be in truth, be in self, be in the presence, not the present moment, the presence. You know? So all are same, but then however it suits, wherever we are, bring in that, keep questioning, and again and again and again, moment by moment, moment by moment. That's what Krishna, he lived like that and he showed us. I am here as a commentary for Bhagavad Gita, he says, in the battlefield, standing there, he talks about Sthita Prajna, being a Sthita Prajna. Right? So that's the beauty. And if all saints time and again have shown us, you know, how they are being the Sthita Prajna, they have escaped from the grip of Maya. Or to make it more than escaping, they just said there is no Maya. It's all Bhagavan. It is all Bhagavan. You know, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar's mantra was, my father alone exists. So whoever goes there with whatever problem, whatever they complain, whatever they say, you know, Yogi would just keep doing his Rama Japa. He would listen to whatever they say, and then he will open his eyes. He will look at that person and say, my father alone exists. And again, allow that person to talk. He continues his, and you know, again and again and again reiterating, it just falls, you know. It cannot stay for a long time. We'll know that. And it is a very powerful practice. Because this Maya, whatever we see, it is all the forms of the Lord and Lord alone. This is what Bhagavatam roars in every shloka. You cannot find even a single chapter where this is not there. Yeah. Everything comes from him, stays in him, goes back to him. I alone was, this is a Chatushloki, right? Ahameva samebakare. I alone was in the beginning. I alone will be in the end. And I alone am now. Now you do the creation, says Bhagavan to Brahma, who is the Srishtikarta, right? So that's what, that is, that's all it is actually. Everything is Bhagavan. So knowing that, when we look at this, the mind rests in peace.
So 2 shlokas to extend this. One we have already discussed. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. It says all actions are actually performed by the different modes of Prakriti, which is Triguna. Prakriti is governed by Triguna, which is again the knower, the consciousness, everything is happening in that existence, the supreme existence. But one who is deluded thinks I am the doer. So the only delusion is the I thought is the only delusion we need to be careful about it. Actions, this, that, but the I thought is the only delusion. Again here another shloka. No doubt this is, we need to take it in the right way. It says, Api chet suduracharah bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Even if one commits the most abominable actions, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. Which means what one may consider as a negative activity also, but if he is, nobody else can judge it, but in a way. So what it does is it releases us from unnecessary guilt, regret, this and that. We can come back and be with the self. Even if something wrong happens, it's happening as part of Prakriti. There is no I. The Paramatma is shining. Paramatma plus Anna, Prana, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara. This is the Prakriti. This is the Purusha. Where is the I? The combination is supposed to be the I. There is no I. Actually, the I is a deluded thought. And when we know this, that everything, then we are well knowing that this is, he is the doer. Looks wrong. See now, when Parikshit said, I don't know how I acted like that. But something, it must be some grand design. Whatever is the consequences shall be accepted. Okay. Lord Rama, look at the grand design. Why did Mantara do that? Say it at such a time. And this how kind of an action is happening. I have to go to the forest. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. The only thing we need to see everything as to be with it, not even to see, to be with his divinity. To be with his divinity, to be with his divinity every moment. Then there is no anxiety, then there is no sukha, dukkha same kritva, labha, labha, jaya, jayo. Everything, success, failure, none of this is there. Because everything only becomes an experience in that existence. An equanimous experience, that's all. There's no pain, pleasure association. There is no like, dislike association. It is an experience. That's all.
And this is a very beautiful shloka. See, apichet sudurachara, the important point there is Bhajate mam ananya.
Anusmar.
Okay, whose mind is, his past is not, Krishna is least concerned about our past. That is in the plane of karma. The one who has surrendered to the Lord is least concerned about karma. If I am still thinking about my prarabdha, I have not surrendered. If I have fear about what will happen in future to my life, I have not surrendered. Yeah, once the surrender comes,
Correct.
the transcendence from the karma plane has happened. Then, and it is not a one-time thing. Swami always says, all these things are moment by moment. One moment I may slip, the ego rises. One moment, the mind is completely abiding in the self. Yeah, the next moment. So it is moment by moment by moment by moment of abidance in the self. Okay, it is not so that is why he says there is no krama mukti, all those. It's not like that. Now here, you are one with the Lord. Now you are free. Next moment, I'm caught in Maya. I'm caught. Okay, so apichet duracharaha. Say, however you are, now have you surrendered? I consider you as a sadhu, which means all the conducive things. Krishna's the Mayapati, right? He will ensure that all those happens for us to continue our bhajate mam ananya bhak. Again, if I fall, then I get caught. But if that gratitude is there, whatever is being now conducively given, some grantha will come to us, some satsang will come to us. Yeah, the moment there is surrender, just one moment is enough. One moment of surrender, he will suddenly arrange. Yeah, and by whatever, if we are able to see that as his arrangement, then slowly that person's life changes. Gradually we see that the way the person lives changes. That apichet, that durachara slowly goes away. And the consequence of whatever does not, like what Aarti was saying, no, it does not impact him. Even forget the people who are in that state always. Even for us who are striving, Krishna is very compassionate. The compassion works only for those who are striving, right? Those who are realized, they are the bundle of compassion. That's all. So his compassion is there. That moment by moment, what happens? He ensures that we see what he gives. Yeah, and so this little bit you do, it's enough. I will pour forth my compassion. So all that we need to do is just surrender. See, it depends whether we know or we don't know. If someone has that faith to completely hold on to him, that is also okay. He says, the one who is holding on to me, I will give them Buddhi Yoga. He has given that promise also. Or contemplating and knowing that ego, why am I caught up with something which is pure nonsense? It makes no sense. Sometimes we know whatever I have gathered in life is so meaningless. Whatever I know about me is so meaningless. It is like some sand castle which is there near the shore. It just goes off anytime. It has absolutely no strength. It is some imagination. All that when it comes again and again, it is very easy to leave and hold on to him. Mam ananya bhak. That is very important. Yeah, continuously. Then slowly the grip of the mind is loosened, and at one point in time it is seen as just a mrisha, as Bhagavatam says. What is that? Mrisha is a reflection, or that we see, what is that called?
Miraja.
Edapa?
Miraja.
Miraj. Yeah, so that's what Bhagavatam says, right? In the very first shloka. So that's all. That's all it is. That's a very beautiful word, Mam Ananya Bhak. So Krishna says he's a sadhu. So I'll give him. Like a sadhu, I will give him now arranged life for him. What a great blessing. Yeah. But we should know to hold on to that. And if we again fall, again we need to. So.
That is what Kamsa is also doing. Every moment, actually, his mind is on Krishna, out of fear, maybe.
Yeah.
The palace was roused by the rusty cries of a newborn baby child. The guards who were at the doorways rushed to the presence of Kamsa and said, "My lord, Devaki's child has been born. We hurried here at once to inform you about it." Kamsa was lying in his bed trying to sleep. Sleep had forsaken him long ago. Ever since he knew that Devaki was with child, that it was her eighth child, he knew no peace. Seeing the unearthly halo which had surrounded her, he knew that the child to be born would be the death of him, and he could not sleep. When he heard that the child has been born, he snatched his sword, and with his hair flying in the breeze, he rushed to the prison which held Devaki and Vasudeva. Devaki saw him and thought it was the god of death who was coming towards her. So terrible was the look on his face. She fell at his feet and said, "My beloved brother, please do not kill this child. Spare her to me, because it is a girl which has been born to me. Every one of my sons I gave you and you killed them all, but this is a girl. What can a poor girl do? I am sure she is incapable of fulfilling the prophecy which has frightened you. Spare her. Killing a woman is a terrible sin. Do not commit that folly. I was once dear to you. In the name of that love, I ask you, please give me this one child." She held the child to her bosom and held it tight. Tears were bathing the form of the newborn child. Do you want to say anything, Bala? Or we'll read?
Continue. I don't have.
Devaki's prayers fell on deaf ears. Kamsa was like one possessed, and the fear of death had made a beast of him. He snatched the child roughly from the weak hands of his sister, and holding the child with its tender legs, he tried to dash it against a piece of stone. The child, which was Vishnu Maya, slipped from his grip and flew into the sky. Amazed at what had happened, everyone looked up. There, high up in the sky, they saw the form of Devi. She held several weapons of destruction in her 8 hands. Her neck was adorned with garland of sweet flowers. Jewels gleamed from her neck, arms, and feet. She was holding a bow, a trident, arrow, sword, conch, discus, and a mace. Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Kinnaras, and other celestial beings were around her, and they worshipped her. From above the world, from the sky where she was poised, she spoke to Kamsa and said, "Stupid fool, how foolish of you to try and kill me. What can you achieve by killing me? Your enemy, the Lord, the child which is destined to kill you, has already been born. Do not kill innocent people without cause for no reason." She vanished from the sky, and the earth was left in darkness. Now Krishna was taken to the other space. There was this girl. It could have been just simple. Okay, he would have killed Yogamaya. Done. Why did all this spectacle of her going into the sky and then declaring that the child who was born to kill you is there somewhere? It's to increase that fear in him.
And here it is also again, do not kill innocent people without cause. So she's told that, right? Now Kamsa will go on killing spree.
Yeah. Now that she has to.
It is all sometimes they say, no, whatever you tell.
Don't do, you say, that only everybody will do.
Yeah. So like that, he will go on killing spree.
Yeah.
So in fact, that good point that Aarti brought out. See, why sometimes we feel, no, why some Ashariri must come and announce, because, then Kamsa ended up doing so much of sins, Papa Karya of killing 7 children, 8th child. Why that Ashariri had to announce, without announcing, the child could have been born. All these 7 babies also would be, whatever, saved or whatever. All these things come to our mind, right? So if we look at it, just one thing, I don't know where I heard, well, which was very, so Kamsa was um his committing sins, whatever, all this was, his end was coming to near. So the compassion of the Lord was such that just like now we discussed how he makes arrangement so that the one who surrenders becomes a sadhu. That is slow process, but this is very fast. The he whatever he is doing, it is happening fast forward, and the impact is very high. It is like killing the newborn child and killing the girl child. It's so much, and that the suffering that he went through is unmatched. It is not okay. They say Narada very easily he has given in bhagawatam that sambrahma yoga. Okay, but if we look at the psychology, how much of torture, no sleepless nights, fear all the time. Yeah, so it was also in a very high intensity. Only slow coach bhakti, gradual is always good. Swami always says,
Swami always says, will you keep asking for Atma
grace.
Sakshatkara and all that, suddenly everything will fall away, your grihastha will fall away, you will may have to,
Yeah,
are you ready to take it like that?
yeah, exactly.
Better to go slow only, you will
Slow
say.
coach is good. This is
Yeah.
slow potency grace. Swami says, it is slow potency in satsanga, reading this, always, and that joy of bhakti is also there. Yeah? But nothing of these is there for such people. So he always very funnily, he says, you invite grace, grace will come breaking a pillar. You cannot take it. You need a Hiranyakashipu to take that kind of power. Yeah, you need a Kamsa to take that kind of power. He cannot take. Very humorously also says, people say, yo, Sri Ranga, how nice they go and stand there, look at the Ranganatha form and all that. But we don't realize that we are not ready to take the Sakshatkara. If suddenly you hear a voice, from nowhere and from everywhere, calling your name, what will we
It is a
do?
ghost
We
only
may
first.
run away from the Garbhagudi, right? Who knows? So suddenly, with so much love, only say Ranganatha is calling. What will we do? I don't know. So it all he knows in what potency he has to give for whom. And
And
that
this
is.
fear that Kamsa is going through, no, it is that fear of the death of the ego.
Hmm.
It is a huge fear, they say. It will grip you because the ego does not want to let go. That ego will never want to let go of, it does not want itself to die. And it brings up such a high fear. It is that, when that bubble has to burst. When that bubble has to burst, say, there is a bubble, when this bubble bursts, the consciousness inside and the consciousness outside is the same. The oneness is realized. But that bubble is that ego that is holding everything together. And if that bubble, when, that ego will not, it will throw so much fear, it will, convince us that that is not the right way to go. It will trying to pull us back in a way. To walk further from that is not easy. It is like what Bala said, like the Hiranyakashipu, the Hiranyaksha, the Kamsa, and all those. It is very high fear.
Hmm.
That is what
And
Ramana
this
also.
ego, this
Mhm.
ego is not this lifetime ego, Jiva Bhava, yeah, which is that primordial which is there, which is the Hridaya Granthi, they say. Physical body is powerless, it's very less compared to this Sukshma Sharira,
Mm.
right? So the
Yeah.
Jiva Bhava that is there, it doesn't want to let that. That is the root. That is the root. Yeah, he roots it out. We cannot root it out.
That
It
is why the only thing in everything we see only his potency.
That's it.
Even in the fear, when we see only his potency and surrender to him, then whatever has to happen. Easy to say. Yeah. You continue. But the miracle which happened in the words of Vishnu Maya had a strange effect on Kamsa. He was suddenly ashamed of himself for his spite against Vasudeva and Devaki, full of remorse. Kamsa, with his own hands, removed the handcuffs and chains which had bound their hands and feet and said, "Oh, my dear sister, my dear Vasudeva, I feel extremely sorry for all that has happened to both of you because of me and my cruel nature. In my love for myself, I became a demon and killed all your children. My heart had become empty of all compassion and love for others. I dread to think of the future, about the special hell which will be waiting for me when I am dead. I have been guilty of child murder."
See, Mayapati is just showing. He's telling once in a while I will remove the curtain, and again he will put a curtain now. As he continues.
For a while he was silent and then spoke again. "I have known that human beings speak lies to serve their purpose. But till now I did not realize that even the God speaks lies. Believing the words of an unknown voice from the skies, I killed my sister's children. Devaki, please forgive me, and please do not grieve for your dead children. This earthly body of ours is transient. To others we will give all nice advice." Huh? That Hiranyakashipu also did the same thing. When they were grieving the death of Hiranyaksha, when he was advising to the other people, very high wisdom talks he was talking. We are not this body, we are not this mind, we are that Atman to others. Your children are all killed, but don't cry. Because what has died is only the body. He's telling this to Devaki.
No, it is very beautiful also because that fear has gone as of now for him. That is how Krishna has unveiled the curtain of Maya in him. Yeah, that fear has gone. That's the thing. No, the impact of the darshan of Vishnu Maya. Momentarily, no fear. So now all this is coming out. But then once a fear grips, he will go back to.
But he is not still talking for himself. He is
But
remorseful.
even to tell this, even
He
to
is
tell,
remorseful
he was
about his
also
actions.
guilty. He is also guilty.
He is also guilty. At least
And
somewhere
he's
he's
trying to
feeling it's
make
wrong.
her feel better by giving all this. It will
But the
come.
Atman inside is like the air in the pot and is never destroyed.
This doesn't
Here
stay.
there is no cause to grieve. The one who, so which means he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. The one who knows does not feel sad at the recurrence of death and birth. But the ignorant person who does not know the truth about Brahman gets deluded by the ego. He feels that the Atman and the body are inseparable. Life on this earth with the samsara where man marries woman and gets children is the life led by an ignorant man, and to him the earth is full of pain and pleasure alternatively depending on whether he is with his children and those dear to him or parted from them by death and such like. As long as man is caught in the web of Maya, he will not learn the truth, and so he keeps on grieving. But you both are different. You know that every being born on this earth has been born so because of the karma it has performed in its previous birth. Ignorant people think ignorantly and consider that someone has killed and someone has been killed, but you know that it is not so. And so, armed as you are with real wisdom, please be gracious enough to forgive this sinner Kamsa. See, I still hold that thing. Okay. He is feeling guilty. He is now afraid of being a sinner. And he is seeking forgiveness from Devaki and Vasudeva and using all this wonderful knowledge to seek. Of course, he uncuffs them. There is a realization of that sin.
It's a very momentary. Ego is not there now. It will come back.
Even in our lives, just to relate it to our lives, right? We keep going on in our fear, what will happen, this will happen. We keep acting like they say, even in our early this thing, we have come like that, right? Oh, I need to go to this college, I need to do this work. Now AI disruption is happening, what will happen to work? So let me, all kind of fears come up constantly. And we all give in to that fear and keep acting on that. Oh, this should be done, this should be done. We keep taking actions on that, and at some point in time that yoga maya may also be kind of removed, that delusion will be removed, and like whatever is going to happen is only going to happen, and we are so worried about it. That will also come, but we may not see that we are acting out of fear. We are acting out of fear. Why did I act like that? I should not have said that. I was caught in my maya, so I acted like that. All that I will say, but I will not go down deeper and reflect that. So those words that he is telling to Devaki and Vasudeva actually apply to him when he is talking, isn't it? To say, ignorant people think ignorantly and consider someone has killed and someone has been killed, but you know that is you know that is not so, and so armed as you are with real wisdom, please be gracious enough to forgive this sinner Kamsa. A moment of remorse, but still not a moment of inner reflection yet.
See, that's where the Chitta Shuddhi plays a role. See, for someone to hold, see, such moments are given in our life, like what Aarti was saying. Okay, there are moments where we are even cornered by Bhagavan to surrender, right? There are moments in our lives. He just closes all the doors and he shows at that moment, look, only I am there. Yeah. So when we may surrender again, but our business attitude comes there. For that, it is because of the dosha of the mind. The mind again wails. Again, we come back to our mental habits, come back to our vasanas, come back to our fears. We think what this buddhi has conditioned as certain things as true. That's the problem. We again fall back to that is the sin. The sin is when we believe the mind. So that is the thing. So it is about Chitta Shuddhi. That's why, the more and more time, so Bhagavan is time. The more one gives time to Bhagavan, mind also has time. Yeah? Then the mind thins out. Bhagavan alone is. So it becomes a patra, they say, right? A vessel to hold such grace that he is showing every moment. Ramana Bhagavan, that's why he says, only grace is there. You don't come in the middle. What does it mean? See, grace, now it is so much of grace that is there now. But immediately what happens? Kamsa's ego comes, it covers. This is what happens for all of us also whenever our ego rises. Grace is there. He is showing us. But this Chitta Shuddhi, the Satsanga, all that helps in the preparation for the mind to hold it and say, no, this is the way. That's the importance of Satsanga, actually. Yeah.
Devaki and Vasudeva, being very noble and good, realized that he was genuinely repentant and unhappy. They raised him up and told him that they had quite forgotten his misdemeanor. How quickly! Devaki smiled at him and said, "My dear brother, what you say is quite right. It is only the unwise, those uninitiated in the truth about the Atman, it is they who suffer from the pain of separation and pleasure due to the passing things. So long as the difference between illusion and reality is not realized, feelings of sadness, happiness, sorrow, hatred, avarice, obsession, arrogance, and such like develop in the heart of a man. So long as the difference between illusion and reality is not realized, they envelop his thinking powers and blind him. When a man hates another, he hates himself, since the same Atman is residing in the bodies of the hater and the hated. If this truth is realized, man will never more be involved in the world of pain."
How beautiful.
How beautiful. She has lost so many children, and that knowledge, there is total surrender here, saying there must be some reason. So many children, whatever, all that is transient. There was no grudge. There was nothing she was holding on to. She had let go. And she was able to pull him up. So what are our delusions? What are our, anybody please put it in the chat. I would really, so we become aware. What are our delusions?
Or you can unmute and share also.
Or unmute and share. What are some of our delusions? In our everyday life as a grihastha?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah.
As a parent, we feel we are responsible for our children. Responsibility is one delusion. Responsibility.
Doership is what you're saying.
Responsibility is not a delusion. The doership is a delusion.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Responsibility is good. My dharma, whatever we have to do, we have to go and do. But in that, when the I comes in,
it's like I have to do this for my child. I have to do that for my child.
Yeah.
That I
Doership.
yeah, that is a doership. Responsibility is very different. Responsibility can be held even without doership. Responsibility is just there being and doing, which is happening. But doership is to think, oh, what if I don't do this? Or what if I do this? What it should be done otherwise. It is not even not, it is not the not doing. It is that sense that I should do, or why did I not do, or that doership is the problem, is a delusion, correct? Doership. It is not about action or inaction. It is about doership. In the action or inaction.
And even the thought, I am responsible for my child, is from ego only. I think, in my opinion, that
I
is also a delusion.
I has come, no?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is a
yes,
delusion.
There is a sense of responsibility that is different.
That's no, basically,
Acting from a space of
individual.
asmita, that is a connection to that role and doing everything as part of that role, whatever, that is what is called as responsibility, that is called as dharma. Doing that is, but I am doing it, I am not doing it. There are people who, yeah, I am doing it and is not a, that I thought and that doership, I am the doer, is the delusion.
Yeah, that's the delusion.
Like if you look at during the independence wave, everybody, that independence time, everybody got into fight. Somewhere there was a deep sense of calling from within to do it. It was almost like, like that dharma. If we don't do, then there is a thing. But doing is not something great. So in a way, everybody, whether it is Swami Chinmayanandaji, Aravindo, everybody just got in, it is a pulling. How come so many people got pulled into that movement? How come so many people got pulled into that movement at that time? How come so many Rajas participated in the Mahabharata war? There is a grander design, there is a grander thing that is happening, and everybody is getting pulled. Now, if people automatically get pulled into it, but without a sense of what will I get, I am the doer, and nothing is, that psychological level is not there. It is just like a duty, it has to be done. There is a pull, there is a calling from within, and it is just done. Even inaction, if there is a deep calling and then somewhere the mind is telling, why should I do? And no, this is, in that, if an I is also coming, that in the inaction also, that is doership only. That also falls under doership. If there is a deep, something is happening, there is a pulling, everything is going, and in that, there is a resistance put and saying, what is the point? It is not, or whatever. Why should I do this? And you get into an inaction mode also. That is also falls under a vikarma, is how it will be put. So it is about happening and happening. You are an instrument in that happening. I have no say. I am flowing. That's it.
Yeah, there is no I. The same thing we saw, right? Jayamalaji Divya. Swargadwaram apavratam. Swami has given all these in chapter 2. Yeah. There is no I. There is no individual is forgotten. No ahankara, nothing. Individual is, that's how people are pulled. Whether he... So Bhagavan later, he reveals in the final chapter that even if you resist, your Swabhava will pull you. Because he is the Mayapati. So by resisting, you only suffer. So we do not have the power to do anything. That is the surrender. We should know that. There's no choice. No choice. At the body level, at the mind level, no choice. Absolutely. Yeah. Turning to the Lord is the only, probably as long as I'm caught with this individual, that is the choice we can say. But later, after surrendering, we will know that. But initially, so anything related to I and mind. So moha comes the moment we all are deluded in the delusion plane. The moment we think something is separate from Bhagavan. Dvitiya Nama in Narayanam, it comes, right? Anything too you think, then we are caught in love. Then fear is there. So, then we'll think, how is it possible? He says, don't worry. Don't think about the entire life. This moment, leave it. This moment, leave. This moment, leave. So moment by moment, no Bhagavan alone is. Then sorrow is Bhagavan, fear is Bhagavan. Hatred cannot be Bhagavan. Sadness is Bhagavan. Yeah. So, arrogance, hatred, all that comes out of Vidya. With resistance also, they say it is the highest force actually. Due to resistance, if I refuse to do something that has to be done, first of all, okay, it is a very temporary thing. I'll be forced to do it. But because of that resistance, there will be so much suffering.
Yeah.
There is so much ego there, high ego there. So, all that. It is the only delusion is I exist separate. That is the only delusion. That on that everything else is built. My child, my family, my home, my country, my world, my planet, my janma, my life, whatever, my God. Why? People will say Krishna is the only God. Shiva, whatever. There are so many. My Allah, my Jesus. So, all that. My Guru. Everywhere, all this. My is the problem.
When he found out, shall we continue?
Anybody else wants to say about delusion?
Delusion. What else is, I am the doer is a delusion.
Not knowing the not realizing the impermanence of things. That is a delusion. To give a reality to everything.
Yeah.
Yes, that Sat and Asat, as you said, no, Bala. We should always try to apply discernment and think that is this Sat or is this Asat? Is this impermanent? It will go off. It has come. It will stay and it will go off. And personally, I was very one thing which really helped me, Bala, is that you had told in the class that motherhood is something which is bestowed on us by Prakriti Devi, by Mother, Divine Mother. Prakriti, she bestows on us. Before the child is born also, we continued to exist. It was not that we did not exist. And then we get so absorbed in that role, so attached, and we don't even realize that the child has grown into an adult. Now, he or she does not require so much of, our involvement in their life, and that really helped me a lot personally, that motherhood is also something given by Bhagwan only, given by Prakriti Mata on us. So
Yes.
that is also a role that we are playing. So no need to get so attached to it, and so absorbed in it, so consumed by it. When the baby is young, then definitely we take care. 24 hours we have to be with them. But as the child grows, becomes an adult, that child has his own life, destiny is there, everything is there, God is there to take care. So that was also
that is so powerful. I find those two shlokas, Pitahamasya Jagataha Mata Data, and he is the friend, he is the supporter, he is the everything for all of us. Then why worry? I am not. Even if I want to, I cannot.
yes.
This individual self. Yeah, it has its own limitation.
And even that when the child is very small, I am doing. Actually, I am not doing that. The child is demanding it from me. Even that is happening because now the child is very, very needs that much support, needs us all the time. So that is happening through the child. It is pulling us and we have this strong sense to do it. But then in that whole process, somewhere that I has come up, that I must do, and that attachment comes in. And it is also a form of inertia. Yeah, we think that delusion that you say, no, permanent, impermanent. We think this is how it is going to be. We forget to see that at some point in time, this will cease to be the way it is. It will exist in a different form, in a different way, but not exactly that it is going to transform and change. So as long as it is like, even a big child, it is holding on to us, it is taking from us, and when it is time, slowly, slowly, it will only move away from us.
By holding on to that delusion, we suffer and the child will also suffer. Both we actually end up suffocating because of attachment. We are suffocated, the other also, on whom we put so much attachment. And the ego justifies so many things. Just a small contemplation is coming up, maybe because Jayamalaji brought out this Sat Asat. Yeah. So the very powerful shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Nasato Vidyate Bhavo. So know that the Asat does not have any bhava. It does not exist. Yeah. And Na bhavo vidyate sataha. Know that there is no time or no place where Sat does not exist. Okay. So if this is the highest Viveka, permanence, Bhagavan gives that as the first medicine. He says, Agama Paino Anitya. That is the first medicine. He says that, yes, it comes and goes. That is needed first. And the more and more we do that Nididhyasana, apply that, when we come to know that this, in what we think as impermanence, is not there. It is Bhagavan only there. It is only Sat which is in that form. Fear, Sat in that form. That is what is that, Asti Bhati Priyam, then Nama Rupa. These Nama Rupa are the superimposition on Asti Bhati Priyam. Now only Asti Bhati Priyam is, Nama Rupa is the covering by the mind. That's why a newborn baby isn't that Asti Bhati Priyam. Total a bundle of joy. Any newborn baby. And everything in nature. Except man. Because Nama Rupa is not, no tree knows it is called a tree. So Nama Rupa covering is not in nature. It is bound by the natural laws, Prakriti. That's why Bhagavan says in chapter 3 that everything is in Yajna. Because there is no ego. Everything in nature is in the Yajna. Except the man who is attached to the individual self and thinks that it is different from Brahman. So Brahman alone is Ekameva Advitiyam. That's it. So that is also a very powerful, what do you say? It's beyond that Viveka now. That's the knowledge. Bhagavan has told that at this moment, it is Sat alone is, nothing else is. Then how can I allow anything else come? Then we, reflect on all these and moment by moment, be there. These are different methods by which we can center ourselves. And be there always, moment by moment. There is no bhava for us. So that's a very heart verse. Swami has given that as a heart verse. Very beautiful. Whatever is possible at that moment, apply one medicine take out one medicine from Bhagavad Gita and apply there. That itself will free us. That's it. Just taking his nama is the best, simplest. Bhajate mama nanyaba. Coming back to that. Yeah.
Sometimes I can't apply all this. Karpanya dosho pahatastva bhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. Mind is so fickle, can't think. It is full caught in complete kripana, it's in that kind of those thoughts. I don't know. So surrender. Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Shishyasteham.
Shishyasteham mam tvam prapannam. That's all. Okay. You tell what I am your Shishya. I just surrender to you. I am not going to use this mind of my. I am not keep that is no. I cannot think. So surrender. So
Yeah.
we'll close the session. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabad Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om